Hello and welcome back to Deep Dives with Smart Bookworms. I'm Claire, your virtual book guru host for today's show. Join me, Martina, Amanda, Megan, Nathan, and Chris Stouffer, my co-presenters and fellow virtual book gurus, as we dive deep into part 1 of 100 books you should have read in 2024 by authors you love to read. Welcome to 100 books you should have read in 2024. As the pages of 2024 turn, so too does the ever-growing collection of remarkable books spanning a spectrum of genres and styles. This year has been an incredible journey for readers and book lovers, delivering a treasure trove of stories that inspire, entertain, and challenge our perspectives. Whether you're a fan of intricate mysteries, heart-racing thrillers, imaginative science fiction, or soul-stirring contemporary fiction, there's something in this catalog for everyone. In this compilation, we've gathered 100 of the standout books published throughout 2024, carefully selected to represent the diversity and creativity of the literary world. Each month's highlights feature 8 or 9 exceptional titles, organized by 4 primary genres: mystery and crime, dive into tales of suspense, cunning detectives, and gripping whodunits; thriller and suspense, experience edge-of-your-seat narratives filled with tension and unexpected twists; science fiction and fantasy, explore new worlds, futuristic technologies, and the magic of the impossible; contemporary and literary fiction, revel in stories that illuminate the human condition and reflect the beauty and challenges of modern life. This episode is more than a guide. It's an invitation to immerse yourself in the unforgettable reads that have defined the year. Whether you're revisiting beloved titles or discovering new ones, 100 Books You Should Have Read in 2024 offers a literary journey you won't want to miss. So let's embark on a year-long adventure through the best books of 2024.
January, a month of riveting reads. January kicks off the year with a vibrant selection of stories spanning multiple genres. From heart-pounding thrillers to profound explorations of the human spirit, this month's highlights promise to captivate and intrigue. Discover the chilling twists of Alex Michaelides the Fury and Araminta Hall's One of the Good Guys. Immerse yourself in the rich literary landscapes of Daisy Goodwin's Diva and Michael's Held. Or venture into futuristic realms with Sinan Maguire's Mislaid in Parts Half Known. With such a compelling lineup, January sets a high bar for the literary year ahead. The Storm We Made, Vanessa Chan. The Storm We Made is a sweeping, unflinching portrayal of a country condemned. This is a stunning achievement of wartime fiction, of Asian culture, and, most of all, of the ways in which war causes us to accept pain as part of existence. California Bear, Duane Swierczynski. Twisty, engaging, and surprisingly heartfelt. A less ambitious writer might have built his novel solely around the search for the bear. But Swierczynski has some tricks up his sleeve that make California Bear anything but a straightforward thriller. Mislaid in Parts Half Known, Sinan Maguire. I can think of no other way to beat the winter blues than by journeying to Eleanor West School for Wayward Children and reconnecting with Sinan Maguire's marvelous creations. One of the Good Guys, Araminta Hall. Hall's mastery of a diverse type of narration is quite stunning and makes for a compulsive read that we can't put down. The Fury, Alex Michaelides. The Fury pays homage to classic mystery/thrillers that surely will bring about comparisons to the writings of Agatha Christie and Patricia Highsmith, among others. Alex Michaelides has penned quite the stunner of a psychological thriller. Diva, Daisy Goodwin. Callous personality and talent make a rich subject, and anyone who loves her music and is intrigued by her colorful private life will be drawn in by this book. Wolves of Winter, Dan Jones. Wolves of Winter is solid historical fiction that doesn't take itself or its history too seriously. Jones populates the book with memorable characters, stalwart heroes, braggadocious leaders, and a young archer who can't keep himself out of trouble. Held, Anne Michaels. Held is a work that's best consumed in small bites rather than greedily devoured. It's also one that can be revisited with pleasure, spurred by the search for connections that may have been missed on a first reading. Come and Get It, Kylie Reed. Reed's narrative quite intentionally shines a light on the extent to which consumerism and brand names have permeated American priorities and preoccupations. And there you have it, January's Essential Reads. For an in-depth review of each book mentioned, download your free copy of 100 Books You Should Have Read in 2024. The link is in the description below.
February, a tapestry of stories. February continues the year's literary brilliance with an eclectic mix of genres and narratives. Fans of speculative fiction will be enchanted by Kelly Link's The Book of Love, while mystery enthusiasts can unravel the secrets in Rachel Kapelka-Dale's The Fortune Seller and Brandy Skiller's The Framed Women of Ardmore House. For those seeking thrillers, Vera Kurian's A Step Past Darkness and Eleanor Barker White's My Name Was Eden deliver intense suspense. The month also brings a wealth of compelling contemporary fiction, including Anna Quindlen's After Annie and Tommy Orange's Wandering Stars, each exploring themes of identity and connection. With its diverse offerings, February provides stories to savor and discuss long after the last page is turned. The Book of Love, Kelly Link. Full of mysteries and magical contracts, both ancient and new, and characters whose lives move with and against time, this spellbinding novel appends and reinvents what fantasy can do and what it can be. A Step Past Darkness, Vera Kurian. Full of devious, controlling villains, an omnipresent church with deep, sordid ties to its community, and characters who live and breathe their fight for justice, A Step Past Darkness is a compelling read with strong themes of small-town secrecy, religious control, and patriarchal abuses of women. The Rumor Game, Thomas Mullen. An intriguing combination of mystery and historical fiction. Mullen's latest novel brilliantly showcases how a war was being fought globally, but that indifference and bigotry were often as close as our backyard. After Annie, Anna Quindlen. Anyone who has lost someone precious will relate to these characters' grief, heartbreak, and ultimate resilience. It is a trip on a road paved with pathos, but it is one well worth taking. Piglet, Lottie Hazel. The propulsive train-headed off a cliff nature of the narrative will keep people turning pages, but Piglet's vulnerability and resilience will be what readers remember. My Name Was Eden, Eleanor Barker White. My Name Was Eden is the sort of creepy, deeply affecting novel that will invade your thoughts and dreams long after you have turned the stunning final pages. Wandering Stars, Tommy Orange, a moving family story, and an excavation of historic wrongs that reveals how trauma reverberates down through the generations until it must be confronted in the present. The American Daughters, Maurice Carlos Ruffin. The Epilogue, framed as a transcript of a talk from an academic conference in 2172, sheds new light on Adi's story, as well as on the novel itself. Curious about what makes these books a must-read? Grab our free PDF for comprehensive reviews and additional insights. Just check the description below for the link.
March, a literary spring awakening. March blossoms with a captivating array of books that traverse the spectrum of human emotions and intrigue. Juan Gomez Jurado's Black Wolf and Dervla McTiernan's What Happened to Nina bring compelling mysteries to unravel, while Scott Carson's Lost Man's Lane heightens the tension for thriller enthusiasts. On the literary side, Louisa Onom's Pride and Joy and Tia Obrecht's The Morningside delve into personal growth and profound reflections, while Rebecca Sorrell's Expiration Dates and Nova Jacobs' The Stars turned inside out explore relationships and the unexpected turns of life. With contributions from celebrated authors like Sarah Bronstein and Alison Pataki, March offers a rich tapestry of narratives that will resonate long after the final chapter. Black Wolf, Juan Gomez Jurado. This might be the first time in Antonia's life that she is truly scared because she is facing a foe who not only is ruthless, but also appears to be completely soulless. The Morningside, Tia Obrecht. The Morningside is a compelling story of survival and family. Obrecht's Storytelling is engrossing and humane. The result is another successful outing from one of our most interesting authors. Expiration Dates, Rebecca Sorrell. Expiration Dates manages to be both remarkably romantic and quite unexpected, casting a charming spell on readers ready to believe in a little magic, or just the miracle of the everyday. Bad Animals, Sarah Bronstein. This is a novel about the creative mind. Who better to explicate that than an author and his librarian? James Percival Everett. Everett should be lauded for this daring and successful reimagining. James is a masterful and engaging work that should find a wide and hungry audience. Finding Margaret Fuller, Alison Pataki. The prose here is deft and the story sweeping. Overall, Finding Margaret Fuller is a lovely tribute to a remarkable and unfortunately all but forgotten American giant. Lost Man's Lane, Scott Carson. As I was reading this instant classic, I kept thinking about the iconic novels that it reminded me of, like Stephen King's IT, Dan Simmons's Summer of Night, and Robert McCammon's Boy's Life. This is literary horror written by a master storyteller at the top of his game. What Happened to Nina, Dervla McTiernan. This is a sharply written, deeply compassionate, and resoundingly meditative take on the suspense genre. McTiernan is a formidable writer, able to venture deep into her characters' psyches while still propelling the investigation forward. Want more details on these books? It's all in our free PDF. Click the link in the description below to get your copy now.
April, a season of new beginnings. April ushers in a dynamic collection of books that reflect the themes of renewal and exploration. Mystery lovers will delight in Anthony Horowitz's Close to Death, Kelly Garrett's Missing White Woman, and Catherine Mack's whimsically titled Every Time I Go on Vacation, Someone Dies. On the thriller front, Douglas Preston's Extinction and Thomas Oldhuvelt's Oracle deliver suspenseful narratives filled with tension and intrigue. Contemporary fiction shines brightly with Caroline Leavitt's Days of Wonder, Jane Smiley's Lucky, and Emily Henry's Funny Story, all exploring human connection and resilience. Janet Skesley and Charles's Miss Morden's Book Brigade and Rachel Kong's Real Americans round out the month with profound stories that celebrate individuality and community. April's offerings promise to engage, entertain, and inspire. Close to Death, Anthony Horowitz. Close to Death features an unforgettable case that will have heads shaking for its brilliance, as well as the eventual solution. There is much to love about this mind-bender of a novel. Days of Wonder, Caroline Leavitt. If there's one thing Leavitt can do, it's write a love story, regardless of whether the love is romantic, parental, or something else entirely. And in Days of Wonder, her talents are on full display. Lucky, Jane Smiley. Towards the end of the novel, Jane Smiley pulls a Jane Smiley on us. That's all I'm going to say, because I don't want to spoil the surprise. Extinction, Douglas Preston. What makes Extinction so engaging and thrilling is not the points it brings up about men playing God, a theme that has long been a popular one in science fiction, but what it has to say about where we have come from as a species, and where we may be heading. Funny Story, Emily Henry. Come for the romance, the high stakes, the humor, and the sweet, hilarious vibes, but stay for Henry's characters. They deserve the most magical, transformative romance possible, but they use that love to discover something even more meaningful. A love for and pride in themselves. Missing White Woman, Kelly Garrett. Kelly Garrett's writing style will keep you turning the pages as these characters are believable, the storyline is engrossing, and the plot twists just keep coming. Every Time I Go on Vacation, Someone Dies, Catherine Mack. Mack pairs the book's self-aware tone with picture-perfect settings that come to life on the page. With its breezy humor and likable heroine, Every Time I Go on Vacation, Someone Dies is delightful, escapist fun. Oracle, Thomas Oldhuvelt. Oracle is a stellar read and proudly joins the small collection of horror novels that have quickly made Thomas Oldhuvelt a must-read author in my household, and hopefully yours as well. Real Americans, Rachel Kong. Real Americans is a probing, inciting, and yet miraculously tender and introspective book about identity. The themes of immigration, racism, the American dream, and cultural assimilation, and, most searingly, the self-loathing it engenders, play major roles in this sweeping, epic family saga. Every book has its story, and we've captured them all in our free PDF. Click the link in the description and dive deeper into your next great read.
May, thrills, mysteries, and heartfelt tales. May delivers an impressive lineup of books that will keep readers hooked from start to finish. Thriller enthusiasts will revel in Mark Rubinstein's A Lethal Question, Stephen King's You Like It Darker, and John Katzenbach's Jack's Boys. Ruth Ware's One Perfect Couple adds another layer of suspense to the month, while Greg Hill's Southern Man and John Grisham's Camino Ghost's promise gripping, high-stakes narratives. Mystery fans can look forward to Craig Johnson's First Frost and Jamie Lynn Hendricks' A Lovely Lie, each weaving intricate tales of intrigue. On the literary side, Kevin Kwan's Lies and Weddings and David Nichols' You Are Here provide thoughtful, character-driven explorations of relationships and identity. With its blend of heart-pounding action and poignant storytelling, May's selection is not to be missed. A Lethal Question, Mark Rubinstein. A Lethal Question suggests Robert Redford's character, Joe Turner, from the 1975 film 3 Days of the Condor. Those who seek high-paced action will find it here. You Like It Darker, Stephen King. You Like It Darker is dark, but not in the overtly supernatural way you might expect. While there are definitely some otherworldly elements at play in this collection, most of the stories are deep explorations into the human condition and some dark souls that are in this world. One Perfect Couple, Ruth Ware. One Perfect Couple is Ruth Ware at her most cunning, and she does it all within the framework of an immensely popular form of entertainment that is wide open to this kind of speculation. Lies and Weddings, Kevin Kwan. Kevin Kwan is at his best when he is describing decadence and abundance, and the reader guesses that there is a twinkle of mirth in his eyes as he writes,
You Are Here, David Nichols. All Nichols' trademarks are there. Zippy dialogue, a mix of humour and poignancy, and above all, people worth spending time with. I adored it, and so will you. Southern Man. Greg Iles. Southern Man is a mammoth achievement in both size and scope. If this is the last book Iles ever writes, he can be proud of an enormous legacy of work he has left behind that will include Southern Man as the cornerstone of his impressive bibliography. Jack's Boys, John Katzenbach. I can only hope that Katzenbach receives some much-deserved award consideration for what easily will be one of my favourite books of 2024. Camino Ghosts, John Grisham. Camino Ghosts is a joyful adventure. The characters are well known to Grisham fans, and the story will keep you turning the pages until the conclusion. That's a wrap for May. Need a deeper dive? Our free PDF has all the juicy details. Find the link waiting for you in the description below.
June, a month of masterful stories. As summer unfolds, June brings an enticing array of books that showcase masterful storytelling across a range of genres. From gripping thrillers to poignant literary works, this month's selection is packed with captivating reads to accompany the longer days and warmer nights. Literary fiction takes center stage with Rachel Cusk's Parade, a thought-provoking exploration of relationships and identity, and Tracy Chevalier's The Glassmaker, a beautifully rendered tale of art and ambition. Christina Dodd's A Daughter of Fair Verona and Beatrice Williams' Husbands and Lovers round out this genre with evocative narratives that delve into love, loss, and resilience. Thriller fans will revel in Riley Sager's pulse-pounding Middle of the Night and Liv Constantine's Twisty the Next Mrs. Parrish. Josh Malaman's Incidents Around the House and Tasha Corial's Love Letters to a Serial Killer promise edge-of-your-seat suspense, while Karen Robards' Some Murders in Berlin delivers intrigue with an international flair. Finally, Chris Whitaker's All the Colors of the Dark offers a masterclass in mystery, weaving a tale that is as chilling as it is compelling. Whether you're seeking thought-provoking fiction or high-octane suspense, June's lineup ensures a summer of unforgettable stories. Parade, Rachel Cusk. In a world that continues to force us to celebrate the old conventional storytelling ways, whether it's superheroes once again saving the planet from some giant single force, or romances that always end up with the duo intact, it is exciting to be part of Rachel Cusk's orbit. The glassmaker, Tracy Chevalier. Rather than defying the currents of history, the glassmaker treats time like the materials of glass itself, heating its raw information into condensed form and shaping it in the writer's crucible into something that is simultaneously new, old, unexpected and beautiful. Middle of the Night, Riley Sager. Before the final answers are revealed, there will be some nice plot twists that will have readers scratching their heads. I figured out one of them, but at least two others completely blindsided me. The Next Mrs. Parrish, Liv Constantine. Watching Daphne problem-solve and hoping she ultimately can win the battle between good and evil is edge-of-your-seat stuff and is wonderful to experience. All the Colors of the Dark, Chris Whitaker. All the Colors of the Dark only becomes more absorbing as it proceeds. Nearly every piece of this complicated epic story falls into place in surprising, satisfying ways. Incidents Around the House, Josh Marleman. Incidents Around the House is the most frightening, well-written novel that Josh Marleman has ever produced. And that is really saying something. Even though I was sure it would induce more than a few nightmares, I did not want this book to end. A Daughter of Fair Verona, Christina Dodd. As a Shakespeare scholar, actor and teacher, I welcome anything that keeps the bard alive. A Daughter of Fair Verona certainly does not disappoint. It's extremely clever and enjoyable, and I look forward to Rosie's next adventure. Love Letters to a Serial Killer, Tasha Coriel. Tasha Coriel's Love Letters to a Serial Killer is like no other book I've ever read. Hannah Wilson seems to be the most insecure protagonist I've encountered in a long time. Love books as much as we do? Don't miss the full reviews? Download our free PDF, linked right below in the description.
Wrap up first 6 months. Have you read any? If so, drop a comment below and let us know what you thought. And if you haven't, do any sound like a must-read for you? If you enjoyed today's deep dive, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe for more book deep dives, and share this video with your fellow book lovers. And until next time on Deep Dive with Smart Bookworms, keep reading, keep growing, and we'll see you in the next one, which will be the second part of our 100 books you should have read in 2024.